Hold up, is that Yungeen Ace at the back of the police car? His time may be up, but we don't know that yet. What we do know for sure is that Foolio is dead. Who's to blame?
The pool party started today.
Foolio was ready to party, and he shared his location on his birthday.
Oh, man. We got the address pull up. If you need the address, DM me right now.
Little did anyone know that this would be his last post. Sadly, his arch-enemy Yungeen Ace got it figured out too. Now the world will know how Foolio got killed on live camera. Murder in the music video.
Around 4:40 this morning, we received a 911 call about a shooting that happened here in the parking lot behind me.
Just hours after the news of Foolio's death broke, his rival Yungeen Ace released Do It alongside a disturbing music video. The timing and content of the song left everyone questioning whether this was a mere coincidence or a calculated move by Ace. Without a doubt, the lyrics and visuals in Do It are explicit and disturbing, making it clear that the feud mess in the hood might even be far from over. The song doesn't mention Foolio by name, but the lyrics and visuals are unmistakably pointed. In Do It, Ace raps, catch his ass and do his ass, you know he finished, and flip his ass and smoke his ass, we stand on business. Alongside a visual to go with it, these lines explicitly describe the act of gunning down a rival. The music video adds another layer of controversy, as it featured masked men mowing down a man in what appears to be a hotel parking lot, eerily similar to the scene of Foolio's murder. The lyrics of the song are not only centered on shooting someone, but also paint a picture of murder and a sinister plot to get back at a perceived enemy. The latter part of the chorus captures Ace allegedly calling a hit on Foolio by telling unknown persons to do it, no matter the place or stakes. In an almost boastful tone of someone who knew what was coming, Ace rapped, "I don't even call him by his name. I call them Lil Do-Its. Let's do it. Just called the phone, say they got the low, I told them do it. I ain't sparing it, it's on site if we into it. Come here. He with his baby do it, he with his do it, with his mama do it, this money making do it, haha. While Foolio may not have been in the company of his mother, baby, or girlfriend, he was still in an entourage of people, and that didn't stop the hit from being taken out on him. For many people, the similarities between Ace's lyrics and the true murder scene were no mere coincidence. They were more of a confession, or the boastful rants of a sick mind. What informed this perception was that the track was released just a few hours after Foolio was killed, which was barely enough time to put everything together in a way that scarily mirrored the actual murder scene. But what really gives Yungeen Ace away as the mastermind behind the brutal killing of Foolio is the first verse of the track, which hints that someone was about to be taken out. The verse opens with Ace rapping, 7 days a week, we run this bitch, we spinning. Any day this week, I better come up missing. Better stay on point. What? He better not be out here slipping. Hey, let's call his bitch. These up in here. Hey, be trying and shit. Be dying and shit. Tell him go free that hoe before Tilly go blame the bitch. All these come at the peak of the fight for freedom for black art expression, as well as the collective push of the rap community to limit the use of rap lyrics as evidence in court. While Yungeen Ace may argue that the song is just a mere artistic expression, supporters of the use of lyrics as evidence in court would point to the unmistakable similarities between Ace's lyrics and the circumstances surrounding Foolio's death as a strong case for their stand. In fact, Ace's lyrics in Do It so accurately mimic the events of Foolio's murder that it has provoked an angry outburst from fans and critics. They took to social media to express their outrage, with many accusing Yungeen Ace of being insensitive and disrespectful. Some have even gone as far as to call for a boycott of his music. Some rap fans think Ace is snitching on himself by releasing a song like this. Other commenters slammed the diss track, describing it as a poor attempt at entertainment, while emphasizing that Ace was going to get locked up. Meanwhile, another wing of drill music lovers maintained that the consistent shootings among drill artists are a profiting enterprise. The real conspiracy is the drill rapper factory that keeps making these dudes just to die, and who is getting paid off of all of them. Now Ace will be next. Then they will both be replaced. Rinse and repeat. That is the issue you all need to be talking about. Who is behind all these drill rappers who pop up and either go to prison or get killed, the person maintained. Regardless of the debate on who is to blame, one thing is glaring. The implications of Yungeen Ace's song Do It are far-reaching. The track has not only reignited the long-standing feud between Ace and Foolio, but has also raised questions about the role of music in perpetuating violence. Critics argue that diss tracks like Do It glorify and incite real-life violence, contributing to a cycle of retaliation and bloodshed. Others believe that the song is a form of artistic expression, reflecting the harsh realities of life in the streets. As the police investigation into Foolio's murder continues, authorities are likely to scrutinize the lyrics and the timing of the song's release as they piece together the events leading up to the shooting. The controversy surrounding the track has also put Yungeen Ace under the spotlight, with many wondering if he will face any legal repercussions fans for his lyrics. However, with investigations still underway, the rap world is left in grief over the untimely death of one of its famous rising stars. On the night of June 22nd, 2024, Charles Jones, better known by his stage name Foolio, was out with his friends celebrating his 26th birthday when tragedy struck. The Florida-raised rapper had been looking forward to this day, sharing his excitement with his fans on social media. In one of his Instagram story posts, he called it his best birthday ever, a sentiment that would soon be overshadowed by loud wails of sorrow. Foolio decided to celebrate his birthday in Tampa Bay, Florida, a city known for its vibrant nightlife and beautiful scenery. He and his friends chose the Holiday Inn located at the intersection of Fowler Avenue and McKinley Drive as their venue for the night. The group was in high spirits, enjoying the festivities and the company of close friends. As the night progressed, the atmosphere took a dark turn. In the early hours of June 23rd, gunfire erupted in the parking lot of the Holiday Inn. The sound of multiple gunshots shattered the night, sending people scrambling for cover. According to witnesses, the scene was chaotic, with people running in all directions trying to escape the danger. Tampa police were quickly dispatched to the scene. Upon arrival, they found Foolio lying on the ground, unresponsive. Despite their efforts, Foolio was pronounced dead at the scene. 3 other individuals who had been with Foolio were also injured in the shooting and were rushed to local hospitals for treatment. Their conditions were reported as stable, but the trauma of the event was evident. Tampa Bay police officials released a statement later that morning, confirming the death of 1 individual and the injuries of 3 others. According to the investigations,
2 cars were shot at. 4 people were shot in total as a result of this. 3 of them were transported to hospitals and 1 was pronounced deceased here on the scene.
They also mentioned that the victims were at the hotel trying to get a room at the time of the shooting. As news of Foolio's death spread, reactions poured in from all corners of the hip-hop community and beyond. Fans, fellow artists, and friends expressed their shock and sorrow over the loss of the young rapper. Foolio's girlfriend took to Twitter to share her grief and anger. She tweeted, "Y'all took my boyfriend from me. I hate you all, and I won't be the only one crying." Her words captured the deep pain and sense of loss felt by those who knew and loved Foolio. Social media flooded with tributes and condolences, but amidst all the glowing tributes, some users decided to stir trouble by claiming Foolio's death was a reward for his violent lifestyle. This comment alluded to Foolio's controversial history of dissing deceased individuals in his music, a practice that had earned him both notoriety and enemies. Another commenter referenced the infamous Yungeen Ace situation, where 3 people were killed and 1 survived. The karma in that is crazy. In the Yungeen Ace situation, 3 people were killed and 1 survived. The dude kept mocking the fact that 23 kids died on his birthday. Look how their roles reversed. In the days following the shooting, the investigation continued. Tampa police urged anyone with information about the incident to come forward. They are determined to find the perpetrators and bring them to justice. The community, still reeling from the shock, hopes for answers and closure. Meanwhile, Foolio's attorney, Louis Fusco, confirmed the late rapper's death and provided further details about the events leading up to the shooting. Fusco revealed that Foolio had been kicked out of his Airbnb for having too many people to celebrate his birthday. As Foolio was on his way to another location, multiple social media channels revealed his whereabouts. Fusco stated that once Foolio arrived at the Holiday Inn, he was basically ambushed. This wouldn't be the first time an attempt would be made on Foolio's life, forcing him to develop some kind of paranoia over the years. Back in December 2023, Foolio filed a lawsuit against a hospital months after he claimed a nurse in the hospital allegedly put his life at risk by revealing his location. Foolio was admitted to the hospital after suffering gunshot wounds in October, which required surgery. Foolio later spoke about the incident in an interview with the No Jumper podcast. He explained that the nurse's actions had put his life in further danger, forcing him to leave the hospital prematurely, but that came with the consequence for the establishment.
She got fired and all about that. I just got a letter about that shit from the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Lawsuit.
Unfortunately, the one moment he let his guard down and his location became compromised, his enemies capitalized and struck with deadly precision. However, Foolio's girlfriend's claim that she won't be the only one crying is not mere words, but a warning that there will be more bloodshed in the coming days. And on the evidence of the brutal gang violence that has been prevalent in Jacksonville in recent years, this is a threat authorities are taking seriously. Following the death of Foolio, Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters and his team wasted no time in responding to the situation. They initiated a heightened state of alert, closely monitoring the activities of known rival groups. Waters made it clear that any attempts at revenge would not be tolerated. During a news conference, he said, "We're not going to allow you to just arbitrarily run around and spray bullets into people's houses and cars. We're not going to tolerate any retribution, any revenge. We're going to watch. We're going to be around paying attention to what's going on." Although Waters said he would not mention the rival groups involved, there are 2 prominent groups in the Jacksonville area whose bloody rivalry continues to haunt the community. On one end, we have the KTA, a group associated with Foolio, and on the other side is ATK, which is affiliated with Yungeen 8. To get a better understanding of their bloody rivalry, we must first explore the origins of their feud and how it got to this point from entertaining diss tracks and social media memes. The Jacksonville gang feud and its fatalities.
This just be my room right here. One boy shot my house up. I was right there on the bed, me and my little brother Quan.
The origins of the deadly rivalry between Jacksonville's KTA and ATK gangs can be traced back to the early 2010. This period saw a surge in gang activity in Jacksonville, a city already grappling with high crime rates and socioeconomic challenges.
They shot that bitch up. My house always got shot up. They always spent on my shit. But then we doubling back though, for real.
The roots of the conflict lie in personal vendettas, territorial disputes, and fierce competition for dominance in the city's underground scene. KTA, an acronym for Kill Them All, emerged as a formidable force in Jacksonville's gang landscape. Comprising young men from some of the city's most impoverished neighborhoods, KTA quickly gained a reputation for its ruthless tactics and willingness to engage in violent confrontations. Their rivals, ATK, standing for Ace's top killers, were equally determined to assert their dominance. Led by influential figures like rapper Yungeen Ace, ATK sought to control the same territories and resources coveted by KTA. The initial spark that ignited the feud can be traced to a series of violent incidents in 2015. A confrontation at a local nightclub escalated into a full-blown brawl, resulting in several injuries and the first bloodshed between the two groups. This incident set off a chain reaction of retaliatory attacks, with each side seeking to avenge their wounded pride and fallen comrades. As the body count began to rise, the feud quickly spiraled out of control. Both gangs started using social media to taunt each other, posting videos and photos that glorified their violent exploits. These posts not only fueled the animosity, but also attracted a wider audience, turning the local conflict into a spectacle for viewers around the world. However, this didn't just happen overnight. The historical context of this rivalry is deeply rooted in the socio-economic conditions of Jacksonville. High unemployment rates, limited access to education, and a lack of opportunities have created an environment where young men are drawn to gang life as a means of survival and status. The allure of quick money, power, and respect makes the gang lifestyle appealing, despite the inherent dangers. Furthermore, the early years of the KTA and ATK feud were marked by a series of high-profile incidents that set the stage for the ongoing violence. Each attack and counterattack added fuel to the fire, solidifying the deep-seated hatred between the two groups. One of the earliest and most significant turning points in the feud was the May 2017 murder of 19-year-old Zion Brown.
The teenager tells News4Jax that her family was woken up about 1:30 in the morning Saturday when a brick came crashing through a sliding glass door in the back of their house.
18-year-old Zion Brown was the only adult in the home.
Brown was Foolio's cousin, and his death led to a retaliatory attack on Yungeen Ace in June 2018 that left 3 of his friends dead. Ace himself was shot multiple times but survived the attack. Ace's brother Trayvon Bullard, 18, was killed in the shooting along with Royale Devon Smith Jr., 18, and Jacoby Deshad Groover, 19. The incident, which took place while Ace and his friends were driving home from a local restaurant, was a turning point in the feud. Ace's subsequent music videos, including the hit Pain, chronicled his experiences and aimed at his rivals in KTA. The video, which shows Ace rapping from a hospital bed, quickly went viral and cemented his status as a key figure in the Jacksonville rap scene. Meanwhile, Foolio celebrated the mass shooting by making a series of posts on social media that glorified the killings. As if that wasn't enough, Foolio also created a t-shirt with a photo of Royale Devon Smith Jr., aka 23, that had the inscription, "Rest in Piss 23. Foolio went on to post a picture of the t-shirt on his Instagram alongside the caption, "I'm getting a new t-shirt made for my show." In January 2019, more bloodshed followed, and this time the culprits chose an open scenery in the Bay Meadows area. Right outside of Paradise Gentlemen's Club, a rapper known as Boss Goon was gunned down. Sadly, the shooting occurred after he finished his stage performance. The entertainer was inside a vehicle with his family, who unfortunately sustained injuries. Although ATK rapper Xu was not present when it all went down, his dad Abdul Robinson was shot in the back. Some months before Xu's attack, Yungeen Ace and a 19-year-old named DeAndre Thomas were allegedly involved in a robbery, but the court acquitted them of any wrongdoing. Reports had it that the duo were implicated because they had planned to rob a marijuana dealer. According to investigations, during the attack, the perpetrators fired at the home of the robbery, but their bullets did not touch the occupants, including a toddler and a couple. While it was not certain who had attacked Xu's family, whoever was behind the January 2019 shootings didn't consider giving the KTA KTA gang a breather. Just days after the drive-by killings at Paradise Gentlemen's Club, Charles McCormick Jr., a KTA rapper who went by the name of Lil Buck, lost his life. A month later, there was yet another hit on KTA with Foolio's little brother, 16-year-old Adrian Gaynor Jr., aka Bibby, who got shot to death at a Moncrief area apartment complex. Foolio himself had a close call to death, yet he managed to survive. The rapper and his girlfriend sustained injuries in separate shootings, which showed clearly that their lives were under threats. By who? Well, it did not take long for the ATK to blow their trumpets. Hakeem Robinson, aka Xu, whose dad was shot at, boldly celebrated the rival gang KTA's loss. He plastered the pictures of the deceased on his album cover titled Bibby Out. This single act highlighted the intensity of hate between the rivals. Xu's intentions were far from grieving the victims. Instead, he aimed at taunting them. The rapper carried on with teasing Bobby's grieving family. He spent weeks bragging about wiping off the KTA gang via posts. He even threw jabs at Foolio, claiming that he is smoking Bibby, his deceased teenage brother. Eventually, the cops arrested Xu over his claims online, but that was not the kind of justice Foolio or the KTA gang wanted. Following Xu's arrest, Yungeen Ace was ambushed that same month. The incident occurred in front of the Hampton Inn at 1720 Brunswick Highway. Onlookers testified that unknown gunmen invaded the environment at around 3:30 a.m. Upon arriving at the scene, the cops found 30-year-old Jeremy Alexander Brookins, who suffered from the gunshot injuries and bled to death. The second victim, Dwayne Lamont Scott, a 29-year-old man found inside the hotel room, was quickly taken to a hospital. It was gathered that Yungeen Ace narrowly escaped death as he and his crew returned to the inn. Amid not seeing the culprits, the police made some arrests. 26-year-old Mark Isaac Jefferson, 18-year-old Leroy Gerard Whitaker, and 26-year-old Devontae DeMorris Stark were taken in for possession of marijuana and firearms. Although the police did not link the ambush to Foolio, Foolio continued his online rivalry, teasing Yungeen Ace and his brother about smoking them, a challenge Yungeen Ace gave a nod to with a response. Things eventually spiraled out of control in 2021 with the release of Yungeen Ace's controversial music video, Who I Smoke. The video, which features Ace and his associates rapping over a sample of Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles, includes references to several deceased KTA members. The provocative nature of the video, combined with its catchy melody, made it an instant viral sensation. Expectedly, the video amassed millions of views and sparked outrage among KTA supporters who saw it as a blatant act of disrespect. Without wasting time, the other faction plotted a comeback. In response, Foolio released the track When I See You, in which he taunted Yungeen Ace and referenced the deaths of Ace's friends. The video, which features Foolio standing in front of a memorial for Ace's fallen friends, was also a viral sensation and further escalated the conflict. But this was not swept under the carpet by ATK gang members who believed that their actions were justified. Sadly, at the time, the beef brought an end to the legendary careers of the rap stars who died untimely. Yet, the feud in the rap game persisted with the likes of Jay-Z versus Nas, 50 Cent, and Ja Rule, but it seemed as if everyone learned their lesson, and the rivalry was soon limited to dishing out diss tracks, not fighting with guns on the streets. However, for these new rappers, they barely wait for their homies to die first. In their music videos and online posts, Yungeen Ace and Foolio proudly threatened each other, and sadly, they always walked the talk. The back and forth nature of these music videos has turned the feud into an online war, with each side trying to outdo the other in terms of shock value and provocation. But that does not mean that the authorities are blindfolded. Many arrests have been made by monitoring the alleged culprits or rappers who go online to diss another following a killing. In 2019 alone, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office arrested a handful of individuals. According to the officer in charge, the online clips pinpoints gang violence and incites war between gang groups. Though the authorities have refrained from giving up names of the presumed groups involved in the violence acts, he has assured that all hands are on deck. Consequently, while the rumors are still running wild and many believe that Foolio's demise could be Yungeen Ace's handwork, the police are yet to make any arrests. Meanwhile, investigations are still ongoing and some persons, including those who heard the gunshots, are being questioned. For first-hand information on the ongoing investigation to catch Foolio's killer, be sure to click on the card showing on the screen.